beautiful humans. Okay, I'm excited for today's live. Today's live is going to be a short live because I'm on Integrative Healers. If you're not part of Integrative Healers, it's my free community on Facebook at 3 to do a proper Tara Barra session with you today. But I wanted to discuss something really, really important. This is like the greatest cock blocker to wealth, the greatest cock blocker to actually enjoying your life. And so, yeah, I'm excited to share it with you. And actually, I want to kind of give you a bit of a context and backstory to why I'm bringing this to the Instagram live today. Hello. As I've been sharing on my stories recently, I've been telling you that I've been a little bit sleepy, I've been a little bit tired this week. So I've been allowing myself to kind of drop in and slow down my rhythms. And today I've kind of woken up and I'm starting to feel a bit of myself again. I am committing to a new exercise habit, which I'm really excited about. As I mentioned on my stories, exercise every single day and movement probably isn't one of my greatest strengths. So I'm really creating a challenge, just like I'm doing with this live, to make sure that it gets done. But anyway, as I was doing my yoga practice, like today outside, I've done like a little video of my setup in my stories, so you can check that out if you're interested. As I was doing my yoga practice outside, I was just kind of like filled with this sudden feeling of like, I need to enjoy this. I'm like, this is so beautiful. This house is so beautiful. This space is so beautiful. I feel so grateful. I feel so blessed. And you guys know, if you've listened to pretty much anything that I do, that gratitude for what we have is like the biggest attractor for more. So I was doing my yoga practice and I was just filled with all of these, like, I'm just gonna plug my phone in to make sure it doesn't run out. I was filled with all of these really beautiful, good feelings. And I just had this sensation of, hello Sophie, hello Michelle, this sensation of, I need to be naked and I need to jump in my pool, hence the wet hair. And I just had this like real childlike moment just before diving onto this live. As you can see, I'm not in my full workout gear because I managed to get makeup all the way down my top. And I was like, okay, we'll just put on another random top. But just this real beautiful moment of like, really enjoying what I've built, really enjoying the fact that I get to live in this home, really enjoying the fact that my business has been built in a way that, you know, when I do have sleepy weeks, I can like step back and enjoy my day and rest and recalibrate when I need to. And so I was just kind of filled in this moment of gratitude, and it really got me thinking about people's journey towards wealth. And I said at the start of this live that what I want to talk about is like the biggest cock blocker for wealth, for financial prosperity, for business success, right? And that is guilt, okay? That is guilt. And it's really, really interesting because this has come up for me a lot this year. Guilt at allowing myself to have the house that I live in, guilt at allowing myself to make the money that I make, allowing myself to desire to keep a large margin of what I make. And so Gay Hendricks talks about this concept, and I've talked about upper limits with you guys here before. But one of the reasons that we sabotage ourselves having what we desire is this kind of unwritten law that a lot of us have with our families or with our communities. And that's kind of almost like I do not allow myself to have more than my family has. If not, it feels like this unconscious betrayal that triggers this sense of guilt. And when we're feeling guilty for having a lot, right, whatever a lot is for you, what we start to trigger is self-sabotaging behaviors. And this happens in like one of two ways. Either you sabotage your financial growth, so you either stop making as much as you were, or you stop holding as much as you were. And this is really interesting. We see this in a lot of business owners that like make a lot of money, and then you see the business owner suddenly lose all the money. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, like, you know, millionaire to bankruptcy to millionaire again to divorce and has to give all the money away because of bankruptcy to millionaire again. And it's like, okay, we're so afraid of having to lose, but when we understand the psychological and the unconscious patterning behind losing the money, we can protect ourselves from that. And in one word, it's guilt. It's energetic guilt. I cannot allow myself to have and hold all of this because on some level, I feel like it's unethical, unmoral, or wrong, right? That's one scenario, and we've seen so many people model this, right? Which is why so many of us are fearful of the having, right? Now, the second paradigm is really interesting, and it's the same. Hi, Jess, darling. Hi, Meg. And Terapias Transpersonal. It's the same pattern. It's the same guilt. It's the same, I can't have too much. It's immoral if I do. But instead of sabotaging it so you don't have a full bank account, you might be someone that's really, really fearful about the money that you have, even if you do have. And the pattern there is, I'll allow myself to have, but I won't allow myself to enjoy it. Like, that is huge. So there are hi darling, there are so many people that are very, very wealthy. This really shocked me, okay? When I started building wealth and I started spending time in circles with people that are wealthy, my assumption was millionaires, multi-millionaires, high multi-six-figure earners would feel really relaxed with money. My assumption was that they would have a really comfortable, safe, like freedom-filled lifestyle. And I was actually shocked to find that that's not true. There are a lot of millionaires that have got there through force because they've not done the energetics work, and that in their millions, they're very, very much frightened. They're very, very much in survival. Nothing's actually changed from an emotional level. And then there's also this layer of guilt of having, which means you see them not enjoying what they have. Oh, I shouldn't have a house that's too big because my family will think that I'm showing off, right? Or my friends will think that I'm no longer who I used to be. My friends will think that I'm too full of myself. So I allow myself to be wealthy, but I've got to look humble externally. So what the experience is for that person is I've got, but I'm almost shameful, and I won't allow myself to enjoy it or show it. And so I'm not sure if I've actually shared this on Instagram. For me, it was actually a really big process, sharing where I live, sharing what I make, sharing the hotels that I go to, because it was a really big block. Like, what will people think? Will people just think that I'm like this really arrogant, heartless, horrible, cruel human? And so a big part of my work and a big part of my teaching is that, like, actually we don't serve anyone, right? By keeping ourselves small, by not shining brightly, by pretending that we have less, by not enjoying what we have. We're actually not serving anyone because we're perpetuating the old paradigms that we've been born into, right? We actually do serve people on a greater level when we own our brilliance, when we own our wealth, when we own our joy, because what you're doing is you're giving other people permission to experience their life in that way too. And I feel that that's what we're really awakening into. It's a very different relationship with money. Prior to this, a lot of the stories around money is that the people that rise to the top are the assholes, right? But what if people with big hearts and big projects rise to the top as well, and we show that we can serve the planet and also serve ourselves? And that's a huge part of my work. And I want to close this with any of you guys that know Gene Keys. I remember when I read my Gene Keys, blimey, I needed this today. Sophie, darling, I was thinking about you today, and I wondered if this was for you. So yeah, we're like connected, babe. Maria, darling, Sabrina, Susanna, Rachel's like, the curls are here. It's because I jumped in the pool, guys. I was like, fuck my hair. I want to swim like a little baby fish. And the pool, I've done a video today, looks so blue and beautiful. And the time of weather it is now in end of October is it's like still sunny, but it's not August hot. So it's really pleasant to be outside. But anyway, let's close this about the having and the Gene Keys. So my Gene Keys are, I found this really interesting. I remember reading my Gene Keys and going, this is shit. Everyone else's gift is better than my gift. My gift sucks. I don't know if any of you guys have ever read your astrology like this. My astrology is like, you are going to have to come to terms with your personality in order to enjoy your life. That's my astrology. But my Gene Keys talks a lot about, I'm here to build community, but with respect to the individual within the community, right? So it's this amalgamation of collectivism and individuality. And the way that we've experienced this in the world at large in pattern, right, as a pattern, is that we've got very, very collectivist cultures or very, very collectivist in organizations, which tend to be like NGOs and things like this, where it's all about the community and the individual is lost, right? boundaries, allowing yourself to have, all of these things just kind of merges into we've got to go after the collective goal, right? And so we've seen the shadow of that is burnout, people feeling unsatisfied, you know, individual health on the backside is not supported. And I've been that person, right? I give, you know, especially as a caregiver, primary caregiver for my mum, I developed really quite uncomfortable and serious chronic health from that. So I was like, oh, this is not the way, because I'm 23 and I feel like I'm 70. I feel like I'm reverse aging, guys, because I'm taking care of myself. So that was really interesting. And then we've got the other over extreme, which is kind of what we've seen wealth depicted as, which is just, you know, people that are just taking care of themselves, and it's all about the things, and it's all about the material, cars and houses, and that there is maybe no collectivist goal there. It is just the individual. And we've seen that has a shadow, right, where we're fucking the planet, like we're fucking the planet after money. And that's kind of, again, it's two extremes. So what's really cool in money is when we stop playing in these extremes and we actually bring it together. Like, wow, can I allow myself to have all of these beautiful things? Like, I adore living in my home. I adore, you know, being able to jump into my pool. It gives me such joy to redecorate and enjoy my wealth and my money and everything that I've created. But simultaneously, I get to support the collective. I get to create an incredible, beautiful community, which for me, the core of the School of IH, which I get fed back a lot actually, is community, and it is support, and it is like togetherness, right? But in that togetherness, we don't lose our ability to have, right? And when I understood this as a new paradigm, when I understood that I wasn't just here to serve, and part of my service was showing that you can serve and look after and love yourself, that was a huge revelation for me. And that actually was a really big piece in me letting go of this guilt, right? This guilt of having. And so I want you to actually just check in right now. Am I someone that experiences guilt around having, financial guilt? And if you do, this is your invitation to start working through that, because that's actually going to be an unconscious block to improving the quality of your life, right? And so I think Sophie she's here, said yesterday on the live that we did in Integrative Healers that the work that we're doing in the School of IH feels like a rebellion. I really do. Rebellion, revolution, these words really bring up something in me, because this new way of wealth, this new way of collectivism with taking consideration to the individual with boundaries, it does feel like a rebellion almost. It feels like this new way that's coming through, right? And we only learn the new way is important when we do old ways and they don't work out for us. So that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm going to be on Integrative Healers in like 40 minutes at around 3. We're going to go through a Tarot Barrier process. This is your final bonus call for Multidimensional Business. This is the final call in Integrative Healers that I'm doing for free. This is final event that I'm doing free for this year. All recordings will be deleted on Sunday. So if you haven't watched Multidimensional Business, this is your reminder to make sure you catch that. If you're in the School of IH or in any of the programs in the School of IH, you will have access to all of this in the school whilst you've got your membership. So if you are one of my clients, don't worry, you haven't watched it yet. We will be popping it over. I'll get you a date this week onto the school, or you can be able to watch it on Customer Hub, and your access will not be limited. So you'll still have access to that, Frebs. And I think that's all, my loves. I think that's all that I wanted to share today. I hope that served you. And I'm not trying to think, do I have to tell you anything else? All bonuses for everything end tomorrow. So for the certification, for the mastermind, if you're really like going full into your business for the mastermind, if you join before tomorrow, you'll get a 2-hour session with me and a month of Voxer coaching. So that's like insane. I don't do that. From tomorrow, certification. If you join by tomorrow, you will get Multidimensional Business for only €222. And there are so many other bonuses that I'm not going to list now. So message me, get your application in, let's speak. Now is the time to join, my loves. And I will see you guys in 20 to 30 minutes on Integrative Healers. Oh, what Susanna said. Hi, beautiful. I don't think your astrology is actually about coming to terms with your personality, Hannah. It actually says, please show off in help of the community. That is hilarious. So my pattern says you've got to come to terms with your personality. I'm going to show it on my stories. But the fact that my astrology is please show off in help of your community is absolutely hilarious. I had never heard that before, Susanna. So thank you so much for sharing that. I will continue to show off, guys. And brag and enjoy my life. Amazing. Thank you for that little nugget. And hi, Tatiana. So we'll see each other really soon on the School of IH. We've got a reprogramming workshop at 6 today.